Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to today's presentation. In this video, we are going to look at a case of human trafficking that happened in a West African country. So this will be our presentation outline. You have a look at an overview of human trafficking. You also look at the story. This is a real life story, something that happened. So we are going to have a look at what really happened. Then we also explain why DNA was chosen as the scientific investigative tool in this particular real-life case. Then you look at how the sampling was done for the DNA profiling process. You will also have a look at the DNA test results, the results that the scientists got. Then you have a look at how they concluded this case. Overview of human trafficking. Human trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring or receipt of people through force, fraud or deception with the aim of exploiting them for profit. Men, women and children of all ages and from all backgrounds can become victims of this crime, which occurs in every region of the world. The traffickers often use violence or fraudulent employment agencies and fake promises of education and job opportunities to trick and coerce their victims. This according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. According to the International Labour Organization, that's ILO, forced labor alone, which is one component of human trafficking, generates an estimated 150 billion US dollars in profits per annum as of 2014. In the year 2012, the ILO estimated that 21 million victims are trapped in modern-day slavery, and of these, 14.2 million, which makes 68%, were exploited for labor. 4.5 million, accounting for 22%, were sexually exploited, and 2.2 million, which accounts for 10%, were exploited in state-imposed forced labor. The International Labour Organization has reported that child workers, minorities, and irregular migrants are at considerable risk of more extreme forms of exploitation. Statistics shows that over half of the world's 215 million young workers are observed to be in hazardous sectors, including forced sex work and forced street begging. Ethnic minorities and highly marginalized groups of people are highly estimated to work in some of the most exploitative and damaging sectors, such as leather tanning, mining, and stone quarry work. So let's have a look at the story, the real life story, what really happened. So in the year 1988, a male child was born to a poor woman in a West African country. And then 6 years later, that's in 1994, a man who claimed to be a fisherman approached this woman and asked her to give him her child to help him with his fishing job. Now, in return, the man promised the woman that he was going to give her a good amount of money, that's every month. He also promised to bring this boy every 2 months to visit his mother, and also promised to take him to school. Out of poverty, This woman agreed to the terms and conditions proposed by this self-acclaimed fisherman. So the man took this little boy away, and that was the last time his mother saw him or set eyes on him. This self-acclaimed fisherman took the little boy to another neighboring West African country, sold him to a cocoa farmer, and that is how this little boy lost touch with his biological family. Years passed and the cocoa farmer died, but then before he died, he told the now grown-up boy, who is a man now, the whole story before he died. The boy, now a man, remembers some of the things that happened in his early years and how his village looked like, as well as the region where his village was located. Investigations led to the district where the boy, that's now a man, where his village was located, and announcements was made throughout the district narrating how the boy was taken away in his early life or early years. An aged woman contacted the investigative team claiming she lost a son in 1994 and narrated everything, how her son was taken away. There was then the need to determine whether a biological relationship exists between the traffic victim and the aged woman. In this case, there was a need to determine whether this woman, this aged woman, is the biological mother of the traffic victim. So, why was DNA chosen as the investigative tool? If you've watched my previous video on DNA paternity testing, remember that I made mention of the fact that each parent contributes 50% of a child's DNA. So if you take a child's DNA, 50% of it is coming from his or her mother, and the other 50% is coming from the other parent, that's the father. So that's the principle of inheritance. So in this investigation, DNA maternity test is possible. It will be a very good investigative tool. So the scientists use DNA maternity test in this particular investigation. So what samples did the scientists take from the parties involved, that the aged woman and the traffic victim? So they took buccal swabs or cheek swabs from both parties. So DNA test results. So after going through the entire DNA profiling process, which involves DNA extraction, that is taking the DNA out of the cells, that's the buccal swab they took. Then DNA quantification, knowing the amount of DNA you have, DNA amplification, making copies of the target sequences, and electrophoresis. The following DNA profiles were generated. So this is the DNA profile of the traffic victim. You can see it's coming from a male. If you look at the sex determining locus and melogenin, you can see XY. XY means this profile is coming from a male. These are the various loci that the scientists tested. And these numbers are what we call the alleles at the various loci. And this is also the DNA profile coming from the aged woman. So you can see it's coming from a woman. If you look at the sex determining locus and melogenin, you can see only X, that's XX, meaning this is coming from a woman. So this is the results or the report in a table form. These are the STR loci. It's the DNA profile from the traffic victim, in this case the child. The first column. The second column contains the DNA profile of the alleged woman. Then over here, the scientists try to look at whether these two parties share common allele at the various loci. So, if you look at the first locus, the traffic victim had 1416 as his alleles. The aged woman had 1516. They share common allele, that is 16. So common allele is present. To go on to the second locus, the traffic victim has 15. The alleged woman has 16. They don't share any common allele. The third locus, 9, 10, 10, 11. They share 10. So common allele is present. The fourth one, 12, 13, 10, 11. What it means is that they don't share common allele. So common allele is absent. If we come to D8S1179, traffic victim 14, mother 15, common allele is absent. So at least to this point, we have 3 absent. 1, 2, 3, which is enough to exclude the aged woman as the biological mother of the traffic victim. So the maternity indices for those loci that these two parties do not share any common allele is definitely 0. That is why the scientists refuse to calculate the maternity indices for the loci that the parties shared common allele. Because at the end of the day, after multiplying everything, you get combined maternity index of 0. So it wasn't necessary for them to do the calculation for those places. So the alleged mother, that's the aged woman, does not share common allele with the child, the traffic victim, at some loci tested. If you look at, if you go back to the table, they don't share common allele at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at 9 of the loci that the scientists tested. So the combined maternity index was 0, probability of maternity 0%. So conclusion. So the scientists had this to say in their conclusion. The aged woman, that's the alleged mother, is excluded as the biological mother of the traffic victim. It means the aged woman who came forth to claim that the child in question might be hers is not the biological mother of the child. So it means the search for the family of this particular man or the traffic victim continues. This test shows that the woman isn't his mother, so the search for his family continues. Thank you for watching. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for me. Help me grow it. Like this video, comment on it, leave all your questions in the comment section. Hit the bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you very much and have a nice day.